And good morning everyone. Welcome to another country mouse walk. Today we are about 6 miles away from Market Town of Spilsby, about 9 miles inland from the east coast, at a place called Wood. So it's a bit blustery, a little bit cloudy. The sun has been about, it's about 14 degrees, which is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. We are just out, coming to the end of August, so thought we'd take a walk here. Tried to do a walk here in the hot part of the summer, and for some reason my camera packed up, so thought we'd come back and do it again. It's got butterflies about, so they can't be feeling the cold. The wood itself is run by the Forestry Commission, and the landowner gives permission for people to walk on it. Now we've had a lot of rain and strong windstorms about over the last week or so. Duck under here. So it might be a bit too muddy underfoot, but I thought I'd give it a try and see how we're doing. So I'm sticking with my external mic on the Media Mod because it seems to be working really well, cutting out some of the noise from the wind and not picking everything up from my breathing right the way through. So hopefully it's going to do the same today. So a little bit about Wood. Not that much I could find out. I've been trying to find out what sort of trees they have here. All I can seem to get is general consensus is that it's probably some sort of fast growing hardwood. But not really sure. The wood itself sits next to the railway line that runs from Skegness on the coast through to Boston, and is really the only railway that runs runs out to the east coast. Apart from, there is one other line that runs out up towards Cleethorpes, Grimsby, and that is up towards the Humber estuary, North Lincolnshire. But in East Lincolnshire you have the one line, and you have to go inland as far as Grantham, I believe, to start changing to move to other places. So needless to say, we get a lot of visitors from Nottingham way coming out to the coast. But as for anything else, there's a little bit less information. Just turn around. I don't know whether you can see in the distance the windmills of Borough Marsh. Well, one of them. Not quite sure. The other one must be hiding. The only other info I can give you is the name, Ings. Ings is an old Norse name referring to marshland or wet area, because of course the Lincolnshire Fens was originally all marshland and scrub, and was drained off for farmland hundreds of years ago. That's why it's so flat. Ah, there we go. You can see we've got two windmills, one turning, one stationary today. So Bowler Marsh is on my list of to-dos, but at the minute a lot of the little towns and villages about are very busy with tourists. Because of the pandemic, there's a lot of people stopping in the UK for holidays, not travelling far, so most campsites are full, and a lot of people about, so I'm going to make the most of the countryside and the quiet areas for now, and then once we get a little bit more into autumn and the schools have gone back, hopefully then we can do a bit more of the small villages. So as you can see, the trees are all in long straight rows. If you do know what these are, please leave a comment. It'd be interesting to know what type of trees they are and what sort of wood they're used for. I'll just pan round to the side. You can see some of the timber that's been collected. So just rows and rows of these straight trees. As we get a little deeper in, there are some areas that have been left longer with older trees, which do give a bit more character to the wood, like it probably had hundreds of years ago before it was being commissioned. So if I turn more to this side, you see less structure to how the trees are. So you'll find a lot of badgers, deer, rabbits, hares, although hares tend to prefer wider open spaces. A lot of birds all live in these types of woods. A lot of people like to bring the dogs here walking. I tried to find out what sort of acreage it covers, but again, very little information about the wood itself. But it is quite large. quite uneven underfoot, even though it's flat. So sturdy shoes, good waterproof or walking boots or wellies if you're coming after the rain. In fact, it's spitting about with rain now again. So this may turn out to be a shorter walk than I intended. When I came in the summer, and I did the whole walk without realising that my camera had stopped, I think it took me about an hour to go all the way around it. So there are set trails, well-worn trails here that I'm on at the minute, but in general, unlike places like Snipedales where I've been, you can generally walk anywhere. It did say on the sign back at the beginning that dogs should be kept on a lead, but most dog walkers I've come across in here take that rule in slightly flexible, should we say. A lot of berries starting to come out onto the plants as we're heading into autumn. Some branches down after the storm. These wide clearings on a hot summer's day make a lovely cool space to come and have a picnic. Please no barbecues. As you can see, older trees, older sections of the wood. I can hear a lot of bird song. I just love walking through a wood. So been walking around the edge of the wood. I think we'll go back into it now. We'll take one of the random paths, I think. Through some of the older trees. Dry under all these, even though we've had all that heavy rain. Oops. There we go. And so you can pick paths. Obviously somebody had started a path there and then gone off in a different direction. Maybe should have followed the older trees round, but it's all part of the fun. Some sort of feeder or something there. Not quite sure what that's for. So as many times as I've walked through this wood, I'm actually walking on a bit I've not done before. The wood's in two sort of sections, a thick, large area and a long, thin area. And somehow I seem to be walking between the two. Sun's out again. And another wooden platform. Again, unsure what that's for, but because of it, it looks like we can cross over to the older part of the wood. Just looking for a way in. And completely uncertain to where I am at the moment. There's obviously a train coming. Always a good thing if you get lost in these woods, because if you find the train line, you can always end up back where you should be. And there we go. And the train line over there. Right, so we've had a wander and a bit of a loss round Ingswood. Thank you for joining me today. Mixed beautiful sky up there with clouds, sun, blue skies, grey clouds. So definitely a lovely walk round. Got the train coming, so I'll just wait for that to pass. And then there it goes. And they're definitely not high-speed trains here. So, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed our walk round Ingswood. And hopefully you'll come back again soon. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. It's always interesting to find out anything I've missed, anything you know, especially if you know what sort of trees they are farming and forestering, or whatever the word is for it here. So in the meantime, thank you again, take care, and hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.